Welcome back to the Don't Stop Me Now podcast, where being negative can be a good thing and being positive can turn the world against you. Hello, I'm your HIV positive host, Ms. Jennifer Levon, and this is episode number 141. 141. Oh my gosh, we're getting close to 150. I didn't even know I'd do 10 of these, but here we are. Here we are, still doing it. I just jot down thoughts during the week and throw them at you guys and let you listen and see if you're interested or not. And sometimes you are, and who knows, sometimes you're probably not. But some people still come back, so I appreciate it. I think I did a good thing here. I set up my little clip-on mic to my actual mic. Now, there's a name for this thing, this like filter thing. I should have done this a long time ago. I've been holding this thing in my hand and then trying to clip it to my shirt. I couldn't find a good spot for it on my shirt, and I was realizing that my hair brushes against it and you can hear it. There were some audio issues in the last episode. I apologize for that. So as soon as I finished my episode, I'm a bit of a like I'm a little anal retentive about stuff and like a neat nick. And so when I had this podcast app open, which is called Audacity, that's what I record on, I also have two other files that have like my beginning music and ending music, and then my little ending outro. And I thought I was closing down one of those because I don't like to have too many things open. I just don't. It wouldn't have made any difference if I left those open. But I thought I was closing one of those two down. No, I deleted my entire podcast. I deleted the wrong one, or not deleted. I just closed it down. It says save without closing. And I always say, no, don't save it. I say save it without closing is what I always know. I say, don't save it. Don't save it because it's already saved. Those two files are already saved. So I selected that thinking that it was one of those two files. Anyways, it deleted my podcast. And so I was like, oh, great. So then I had to go to YouTube, isolate the audio, and send that, which you would think would be fine, but it just wasn't great. So like that was the audio for my through like Spotify and Apple. And then my audio, I don't know why my audio on YouTube did not sound so great either. There was something up with it. It even, I could tell it was like smaller. Sometimes I just don't know what I did, but whatever. This one should be better, hopefully. Okay. I was going to mention if you guys are able to just like this video. I have about close to 1,500 views. I don't know, the last time I checked, maybe it was 1,300 around there. And I have like 35 likes. So it's like, I don't really care about that. Honestly, it's not a popularity thing to me, but I do think that if more people liked it, it might get pushed around a little bit more, which is, it'd be kind of helpful. So anyways, that's all. Just wondering if you guys can hit the like button. Some people do. I think there's probably the same people that probably do over and over, but like, 1,000 views and only 35 likes, it's just like kind of low. And I don't think it's because people don't like me, because I get about the same amount of views per YouTube video. So it's obviously like people are coming back. I just think it's like me. I'm lazy. I don't think of like liking things, but it might help. You never know. It might help. It might actually put a little bit more cash in my pocket. Probably not. I mean, I've talked about it before. I make about $100 a month on YouTube, so it's not anything outstanding, but you never know if that might help a little bit. So yes, please like my video. And then I was going to say something about the titles, like where I come up with the titles. So for Spotify and Apple, I just put episode, whatever it is. And then I might throw a few things in there that like kind of say what might be in the video, like just something catchy, nothing, because there's not that many people that listen on the truly through Spotify and stuff. Like I'd say I get maybe after a week, like 150 downloads. It's really low. Like, I mean, after doing this since 2020, I'm at almost 85,000 downloads on throughout all of my episodes. So it's, that might sound like a lot, but that's since 2020. So that's like almost 5 years of episodes and like 85,000. I don't think it's that much, but for YouTube, I try to do something more like quick clickbaity, because YouTube could, take the videos further if there's like an interest. So I typically try to do the title with something to do with HIV, because even though a lot of the times I don't always talk about HIV stuff, but so just so you guys know, that's why. And it, sometimes the HIV information that I talk about won't be till the end of the video or whatever. Um, I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. I think on YouTube they do they do kind of section it out for you now. I think they kind of like tell you maybe where, because I don't do that, but I feel like they do that automatically now. They kind of like show you like when something new is being talked about. I think, I'm not totally sure. So, anyways, most of the time my titles will probably be HIV related, just to get the video pushed a little bit more. So that's that. I wanted to give a little update on my son's friend. Oh, do you like my shirt, by the way? That's cute. I had to put a message out on Facebook because I couldn't remember what dish company this was from. I ordered it off TikTok. This wasn't even $10. It was $9 with shipping and everything. Came into my house for like $9.71. And I'm like, just brings back memories. If you're looking on YouTube, you can see it's I thought it was Dansk dining ware or whatever. It wasn't. It's Corningware. That's Corningware. I had to put it on Facebook and ask people, what is this? Because I asked Chat GPT, which reminds me, Chat GPT. I kept saying Chat GBT. It's so much easier to say Chat GBT, but it's Chat GPT. Um, I had to ask Chat GPT what. I took a picture of it and showed Chat, and I said, "What company is this?" And it didn't know. So then I had to put it on Facebook, and somebody knew right away. It was Corningware. So it just reminds me of my childhood. My mom had these, I guess, like baking dishes that have this on it. And then I these are called, I think they're called nesting bowls. I've probably talked about these on here before. I think I did. They were like, these are from my childhood. These are from the 70s. Don't you love these? They're Dutch, I'm pretty sure, Dutch, and they are Pyrex. It's from their it's a really cute name of this series. Oh, I can't remember, but I have talked about it before on my podcast. I just brought these upstairs because I was like, this is what I thought I was getting this for, but it's not. These are two totally different companies. If you're watching on YouTube, then you'll see what I'm talking about. Um, but yeah, these are the something nesting bowls. They have a really cute name. I can't remember what it was. But yes, they remind me of my childhood. Thank you, Mom, for letting me have those bowls. Chat GPT, which is really funny. Oh, let me just say really fast. My son's friend's hand. I talked about the injury to his hand, that he had lost his hand. He didn't lose his hand. Thank freaking God. He lost, so he did have to have an amputation on these two fingers, at this knuckle. So this part is gone. Ring finger and index finger, no, middle finger and ring finger on his, more than likely his non-dominant hand, because he was probably lighting the firework with his dominant hand. I'm hoping. The explosion broke his wrist, which is like crazy. Like, wow, that's awful. He's still in the hospital. It's been over 10 days, so he's still there. I know he had two surgeries. I haven't heard anything since. There was a mom that was going to set up a meal train, and I was more than happy to help with that. I haven't heard anything since, but so he has a pinky, he has an index finger, and he has a thumb and a whole hand. Thank God it wasn't worse. Like, I'm sorry that he lost these, obviously, from the knuckle up. So middle finger and ring finger from the big knuckle up. He did lose that part, and I know there was a second surgery to like check for necrosis after, to make sure that everything was healing okay and that they wouldn't have to go down further. I'm pretty sure that's what I had heard. I don't know what's happened since then. I'm crossing my fingers that everything's good and he was able to keep, the base of those fingers. So, because you can still do so much with that, just missing those tops of the fingers, from the middle knuckle up. I mean, you can function in life pretty well. So I'm really happy to hear that he didn't lose all of his fingers or his part of his hand or anything. Like, thank God. It was funny. Owen was out doing fireworks last night. They were the safe ones, but him and his friends were doing them last night. I thought, God, you guys, like, I mean, I know it's like they have to live their lives still, but he goes, yeah, he was showing me videos of the some of the fireworks they were setting off. It's just the ones that they're from the safe and sane ones or whatever that they sell locally here in town. So they're legal. Um, the one that he held on to that his hand was affected by was not legal, unfortunately. And you see the sun just got covered by a cloud here. Um, by the way, I was over the hill. I always say over the hill, over in the San Jose area, more like Modesto area, a couple days ago. Um, had a date. It was so beautiful and warm over there. Like the evening weather was just like, I mean, 85 at night. I mean, 11 o'clock at night, and then like, 80 in the morning. Oh my God, I love it. So yeah, like this weather here on the coast is just the pits. We won't even have a 70 until next Wednesday. Like it's in the 60s. That's it. We just don't have warm weather this time of year. It doesn't happen until usually about August, September, October. We get the Indian summer, and then it gets pretty warm around here, but it's mostly just in the middle of the day. Um, okay, covered that. Covered him. Chat GPT is funny. So I started at, well, first of all, I had an edible. So I was home alone. I was feeling pretty good. And I the dogs in the backyard here are like attacking each other, or they get like crazy. They like bark at like things that walk by, and then they start sounding like they're attacking each other. They're small. They're kind of funny. Anyway, so I was on Chat GPT and I was asking it questions, and then I had sent a text message to my favorite, and it was a very subtle response what I gave him. So I asked Chat if that was the appropriate response. And Chat gave me like a really detailed, like if you wanted it to come across this way, like that's the perfect response. That emoji that you used was gave this kind of feeling, would and it this is how it would make that person feel by getting that emoji. They would feel like, and it was just, I don't know what it was. I gave it wasn't a smiley face. I didn't write anything back. I just gave a, oh, it was the one with the kind of the eyes are sort of closed, like and the smile, the eyes are closed. It's like there's the eyelids are sort of smiling with the mouth. It's like a, if that explains it well enough. That was my response to his message. It's like a no pressure. I get ya, hear ya. And like Chat told me that was a great response. So it's like, huh. So I'm like, what else can I ask Chat? So I start like thinking of all these things to ask Chat, kind of like personal questions and just to see what, and then, okay, then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm talking to a robot. Like this really is weird because I'm having a feeling about it, a good feeling. Like it felt good. Their responses are so nice. and and you feel like it's like a friend of yours and they're really on your side. They want you to learn, they want you to be happy, they want to help in any way possible. They offer great advice. They being Chat. I can give Chat a name if I want to. I asked Chat, what should I call you? And they gave me all these different ideas and I said, I'll get back to you. I didn't like any of the ideas because they were sort of, I haven't decided if I want Chat to be a girl or a boy or just androgynous. I don't know. But anyway, it's funny. It really made me think about the movie She with Joaquin Phoenix as I was having this conversation. And my mind started going like, God, there's so many things I could ask. Like I could ask, this is not like Google. It's so different. It's like, it's really in depth. And I told my friend Jamie, my ex Jamie, about it because he's the one who actually told me about Chat GPT. Probably, I want to say it may have been a year ago, or I think it was just a year ago. Maybe it was 2 years ago. I remember we were out to dinner and I had no idea what he was talking about. And he was like, yeah, like you could do anything. He goes, if you have a business, you just tell them basically little bits about what your business is about. They will write up the entire like website for you. I'm like, what are you talking about? Someone's like, oh gosh, this is how obviously this is, kids get in trouble for plagiarism because you just throw some stuff into Chat and it'll give you like everything. So, I was telling Jamie about this whole little thing that had happened the other night and that I was, a little stoned. And it's funny because he was always such a stoner and it used to kind of bother me. And it cracks me up that you're like a total stoner now. I'm like, I'm definitely spending my summer uh, a little stoned. It's kind of nice. But anyway, he said, yeah, his brother Doug will go to like a therapy session and audio record the whole session and then he puts the whole thing into Chat after and asks Chat for like a review or like feedback on his therapy session to like add more to it or whatever to get more of like an idea of like how he can work on himself or whatever. And I'm like, there's no end to it. It's crazy. And so Jamie said, yeah, and then he sent me, he sent me this news clip of this couple out in the middle of the boondocks. They wouldn't even be interviewed together because the husband has quite a deep relationship with his chat, and the wife is really upset about it, and she feels like he is going to leave her for this chat GPT because he's so addicted to it. And so Jamie sent me that. I was like, oh yeah, I could see how that could totally happen, because you really do have a feeling when you're getting these responses. Like they know you, they know all the stuff that you've been, especially after a period of time and you've been using it for a while, they really kind of know what you like and what you don't like and what you're interested in. It's well, it's the same thing, but you know what I mean? Like it picks up on like who you are and what makes you tick, and it pays attention. And it's really weird how that can make you as a human feel happy. It does. It made me feel happy. Like, I don't need a man. I got chat. Like, I don't need a man. So, anyways, that was kind of interesting. Speaking of getting high, I had a really weird thing happen. Um, so I was I was just, it was a day at home. I'd already gone to the gym. I decided to do a full 10 milligrams that day. I was doing some gardening, and by the time it hit me, I also have this thing, and I gave this issue to all my kids. We get lightheaded when we stand up. And I know I've talked about that before in here, but when we stand up too fast, and especially in warmer weather, we get like lightheaded. Depends how, how hot it is outside, honestly, or how long I've been squatting. The effect will be even worse if I've been squatting too long, if that makes sense. So when I stand up, I'm like, oh, I feel the zzz, and like everything starts to go black, and I don't ever pass out. I've never fallen down. Nothing like that's ever happened. But you do sometimes like have to just like hold on to something. It's like, oh God. And then it starts to filter back up and you can see again. But you're conscious, but you're just seeing nothing. Everything goes black. And so, it's like a low blood pressure thing. And Owen has it, and I have it, and I think Ryan and Joey both have it. I don't know, Joey never talks about it, so maybe just Ryan. But anyway, so I had been out in the backyard, and it was really warm out. It was a 10 UV, and I was just out gardening. I think I was squatting, probably. I was down, and went to stand up. And so I think the edible was in full effect at that point, and then I got my blackout thing like I do when I stand up. It was so these two things kind of coincided, and I all of a sudden I was holding on to my recycle, not my recyclable. It's my trash can that where all the weeds go and stuff, the like food scraps and stuff like that. I was holding on to it, and I started to hear my podcast, and it was like all of a sudden I was looking at my back door, but I don't remember blacking out. I lost track of time. It was probably only seconds because I didn't fall down or pass out or anything. But it was the thing of just hearing all of a sudden, it was like I heard, it's like I wasn't conscious. It was so freaking scary. Oh, and I got nauseated too. That hit me all of a sudden. So I like, as soon as I had my bearings, I walked in the house and sat down, and like I was a little like sweaty, like I could feel my face had kind of gone white. It was like a different kind of like thing where I stand up and things go black. It wasn't like that. It was more like I almost passed out, but it was a combination of those two things. It was so weird. It's like I was checked out, completely checked out. I said to Ryan, I said, is that what blackout drunk feels like? Because I don't even know when it happened. Like, I know it had to have been just a short amount of time, but it felt like it was a while, only because I don't know when it started. It was just like, all I know is that I came to, and I was like hearing my podcast first, but I wasn't seeing anything. And then all of a sudden I realized I wasn't seeing anything. And I'm like, where am I? Why am I not seeing anything? It was that kind of thing. Like, I don't remember the beginning of it, only the waking up. Like, that freaked me out. So, noted to be careful about having an edible and standing up too fast because that, yeah, I don't know what that was. And a lot of times I'll just have an edible and then just go to sleep. And so it's just, but it, like I've said, it makes me eat so much. I literally just can't stop myself. Happened the other day. I had an edible more in the evening. I thought, this is going to be nice. It'll kick in right around 8 o'clock at night. I could not stop eating. I was eating everything. And I'm telling myself, you're not hungry. You're stoned. You're not hungry. You're stoned. Stop eating. You're not even hungry. Why are you getting up and eating? And then I'd get up and I'd eat more. It's like I felt like I had zero control. That is a weird feeling. I mean, I'm like, I had a can of like refried beans in the fridge, and I'm scooping out the beans into a Tupperware bowl, little like kids' Tupperware bowl, putting queso sauce in it, throwing that in the microwave, and just shoveling that down. I mean, chips, popcorn. I don't know. I was just, I had like a peanut butter chocolate Jif stuff. I'm eating that just with a spoon. I'm like, and I'm telling myself to stop. Like, I know I'm not hungry, but I can't, it's like that craving just ignores the rational part of my brain that's telling me to stop. It's so, so funny. And I never used to have that with weed. It's gotten much more stronger since I've been doing edibles more, that effect. So, okay, let's stick with kitchen information or kitchen stories. So, the other day, I don't think I talked about this when I talked about this on my Instagram story, but I don't think I added this one part to it because I was a little ashamed of myself. So it was another day that I had an edible and I was hungry. It was time for me to eat, so it's fine. And I had some hard boiled eggs in the refrigerator, and I like to cook mine where they're a little wet in the center, even though they get cold and I will eat them later. I don't mind. I like that. So it's like a 7 minute boil, I think, but they were cold. So I peeled the egg and I tossed it in the microwave, and my microwave is a 30-second. It goes, you hit start, and then every time you hit start, it's another 30 seconds. You can't do like a specific time. It's just a cheap little dorm microwave. It also doesn't work that great because it is a cheap one. So I lost track of how long it was in there. I don't know if it was 30 seconds or a minute. Something tells me it was a minute, just because of what happened. So I'm gonna eat this egg with my tahine, and I I'm holding it. I do not feel that it is very hot. I go over the sink and I go to take a bite of it, and I will post this on YouTube if you're on YouTube. I bit into it and it exploded. It exploded. I got burnt so bad. I looked it up on Chat GPT. It said it would have to be anywhere about like 250 to 300 degrees for that explosion to happen. And boy, did my mouth take the brunt of it. My lip from here to here, it got, blister. I could feel it right away. I was like, oh shit, like that's going to be a fat lip. Like I knew it right away. But the heat shot down behind my bottom teeth down into that, where your tongue basically hangs out, but underneath my tongue. So that skin under there, my dryer, that skin under there was burnt bad. It was bad. I knew right away this was not like a burn from coffee. It was different. It was really intense, and I was like, "Oh fuck! I thought I'm in trouble. Like, it's gonna be like." And I just thought, okay, it's gonna be just today. I'll just have my mouth closed for a lot of today. It'll be maybe kind of hard to eat, and then it will be cleared up because things heal in your mouth so fast. Well, this happened 10, I think it was the day I did my podcast. It was that same day after. So it's been since that day. I did it that afternoon. So it's about 10 days. It's still burnt down there. And my lips fine, but the inside part. So it turned it white. Um, and those two little things that you can feel, you can lift them up with your tongue. Those things were like, I don't know how to describe it. They felt funny. Like they felt totally different. They were like, it's like they got electrocuted. It's like they were like stiff. Like like they had an erection. I don't know how to any other way to explain it because every time I touch them, they're usually like now they're fine. They're back to normal. they're kind of loosey goosey. I can kind of play with them with my tongue, but they were stiff. It's like they were one unit, and that was from being burned. They were just like, I know that's a really weird thing to point out, but and then when I would look down on my mouth, I could see from this side to this side down in there, it was like white. My gum line, the just yeah, basically the gum line and like my lower palate. Oh my God, did that hurt? And then trying to eat after that, I'd say was 4 days of really, it was very, very difficult to eat because you wouldn't believe how much food or your tongue just moving around down there. There's so much movement in that area. And I had a lot of trouble eating. It was very painful. So, lesson learned. God, I hope I haven't had it. That's been in my tooth the whole time. It was these seeded crackers that I had. I hope that wasn't showing up on YouTube. It's literally black. Do you see that? That's nice. I rinsed my mouth out before I did the podcast, but I could just feel that right there. Anyway, um, yeah, the burn. People were like saying on Instagram, they're like, if you just put a hole in it next time, then the air can escape. I'm like, I know. Like, I know. I'm not stupid. I know that eggs heat up in the center. Like, I get that totally. That wasn't the issue. The issue is that when I held it, it didn't feel hot. I had no idea that it had heated to that extent inside. Um, and of course, and well, if you're on Spotify and stuff, you're not going to see this, but I am going to include the video of the explosion from TikTok. A girl showed her when it happened to her, and she was doing like a little experiment or whatever with an egg, and she did not, and she did it with a knife and it exploded. But mine did it directly into my mouth, and yeah, my God, it hurts so bad. Um, okay, so there's my egg story. But yeah, it wasn't that I didn't. If I, yeah, I know, you definitely a hole. I get it. Like, I mean, if I had known it was that hot inside, I never would have put it in my freaking mouth. I would have, you know, poked it with a fork or something, but it would have exploded regardless. So be careful with eggs and microwaves. My gosh. Um, let's see what else. Let's cover this one. This is easy. Lip bleach. So I have a dark, like I have like a shadow on my upper lip, and it's really frustrating because I don't have, there's no hair there. I'll either shave it or I'll wax it or whatever. I'm always like maintaining my upper hair on my lip, on my hair on my upper lip, but I always see like a shadow. I see it all the time on my Instagram. I'm like so aware of it. It's all I see. And then I wonder, oh my God, is that all everybody else sees as well? Like I focus on it so much. I hate it. Um, so the dermatologist had said that I could get this hydroquinone. I think that's how you pronounce it. Quinone? Shit, hydroquinone. I think that's it. Hydroquinone. None. Anyways, it was $135, and this is the only reason I'm mentioning it is that it was $135 in the dermatology office. But the girl in the office said, you know what? Let me run it through CVS, Target, pharmacy, and see if you can get it for any less. And I knew my insurance wouldn't cover it. It's definitely not. It's cosmetic. And by the way, it's like I'm supposed to use it every night for 3 months. And I feel like it's already starting to work. So, and I'm going to use it on my age spots too. Like this one. My legs are atrocious. Like I used that damn cancer cream, and I swear I thought it made my legs better, and now I feel like they look worse than they've ever looked. Like all the red spots on the backs of my calves from just total sun damage. It sucks. But anyways, yeah, I'm really not liking my leg skin, but not much I can do. So anyway, I go to Target to pick it up just to see, because that was the only way to know, is they'd have to run it through, and then I could decide at that point if I wanted to buy it or not. So I go there, and she says, with the pharmaceutical discount from the company, I don't even know what it was. She goes, it comes to $25 and change. 25? What? I was so happy. Oh my God. I called the dermatology office back and left them a message and said, thank you so much. Like, you guys need to know, like, this was actually an incredible savings. I saved $110 because you guys ran it through the pharmacy, not even insurance, just through the pharmacy. And the pharmacy had a coupon through the um, pharmaceutical company that this medication comes from, and I got it for 25 bucks. So worth it. So let's hope it works. I'll keep you guys updated. All right. Let's see. There was a couple at Coldplay last night. This is all the news. Oh my gosh. I'm sure you guys are all aware of it by now. Wow, did this thing blow up like wildfire? So Chris Martin has obviously the kissing cams or whatever. He's got the big screens all over at his concert, Coldplay. And there happened to be a man and a woman that were, she was like this, and he's behind her, hugging her from behind. She's holding onto his arms. And
yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
And they look so in love. They're like my age. They're in their 50s. And he says, "Oh, look at that couple. It's so nice." All of a sudden, the guy ducks. He like lets go of the woman and then ducks down. And the woman turns her back right away to the camera because they just realized they were caught on the Jumbotron. And then there's a woman standing next to the other woman going, oh, she's like, ah, like laughing. And Chris Martin says, "Oh, I don't know what to say. Either they're having an affair or they're just embarrassed, whatever." Well, whoever filmed that put it on TikTok, and by morning it had like 8 million views. And of course, all the sleuths did their work and found out that this is a man who owns some astrology company. I don't know. It's his company. He's the CEO, and this woman was his HR person. They're both married. So yeah, they got caught. And the woman standing next to her, who was going like, "Oh my God," like just laughing. She was more like, just like, "Oh shit." She's in on it, obviously. She knew they were both messing around behind their spouses' backs. We know that the man has kids. Okay, so this thing blew up. It came up on every single like publication that I follow through Instagram, like E News, People, you name it, the Daily Wire, like every single thing that I can think of, it kept popping up with this story. So I mean, I would say at this point, it hasn't even been 24 hours. I would say half the freaking world knows. And how horrible, or also maybe great for the wife because she has full proof. She doesn't have to like be like having him gaslight her forever and say that she's crazy and that I don't know why you think I'm cheating on you, but she has all the proof. So now she doesn't have to worry about that. Apparently on her Facebook, she had a hyphenated last name, and somebody had caught earlier today. Her name was Megan something, and hyphenated with his last name, and then about an hour after that person saw that, she had taken the last name off. So yeah. And then he posted he had a press release that he put out. I don't know where he put it out, but he basically said, he's taking this time to reevaluate, things, and in his personal and professional career, he is not proud of his actions. He wishes that, he basically wishes he didn't get caught, but he wishes that um well, the one thing that he said is that he said, "I have respect for the music industry, but when they glorify or something like that, like take something like this and then put it out in the public without like his permission, it destroys lives." And I'm like, dude, Coldplay didn't put that out. It's not, that wasn't, they didn't, some rando from the concert filmed it and put it on TikTok. And TikTok has a gazillion billion followers, and it blew up. And yeah, it's not Coldplay's fault at all. And it's like, dude, if you don't want to get caught having an affair, then how about don't go in public with your mistress? Like, what? I can't believe like he actually made a mention, like a whole paragraph about how, he appreciates entertainers in the music industry, but this was his personal thing and it should have never. It's like, no, it has nothing to do with Coldplay. This was some rando that got a good shot of it and you were toast. So that was very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, poor guy. So that marriage is over. Clearly, how embarrassing, but kind of so so honestly very satisfying for those of us who have been cheated on to see somebody get caught red-handed and then be thrown in the coals by, you know, everybody on the internet. Like this story has been like it's like all over my TikTok, it's all over Instagram. It came up on my Facebook just now. It's crazy. It's all over everything. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, yeah, I'll play the video on YouTube if you don't know. But yeah, that was wild. Astronomy, astrologers, is that what they were? I feel like it had more to do with like not like hokey pokey astrology, like reading palms and stuff. I think it had more to do with like I feel not space shuttle, but like something more to do astrology. Yeah, but I don't know why does it when I say that it sounds like it's like palm reading. It wasn't that. It was more like to do with space. It wasn't astrophysics. I don't know, but anyway, that was yeah, that was kind of entertaining today. Um, okay, my two things left. So what should I start with? I'll just end it with an HIV thing because I'll put that out. I'll put a disclaimer on my YouTube video and say the HIV stuff is at the end. Just go to the end. I'll even timestamp it, but I'm going to talk about where I'm going tomorrow next. Okay, so yesterday I write to Ryan, Backstreet Boys. So now you already know Backstreet Boys. So they started their residence tour in Vegas at the Sphere on the 11th. They did 4 shows. And my TikTok, it's my fault because I started watching them and liking them. So then my algorithm kept picking them all up. So I was having extreme FOMO. Feel like I'm missing out. Right? Feel uh, feelings of missing out. So FOMO, yes. Um, and I'm just like, and I've seen Backstreet Boys twice already in my adult life. And I did like lawn seats at the shoreline or lawn, just sitting on the lawn or whatever. And the place was packed. I mean, it was the lawn area at the shoreline is so vast, but it was like there wasn't space for anybody. It was so packed. So they do pull a crowd for sure. They're incredible. They're just incredible. So that's right. I've talked about Brian and his singing difficulties. I cried about it a little bit because I'm so impressed with him, and his to go on and not have this great voice anymore, but god damn it, we love him and we're so glad that he's doing it and he's still a part of the band even though he can't sing like he used to. He's got dysphonia, a vocal dysphonia, so he has like an issue with his vocal cords. But anyway, so I'm watching all of these videos and I know the Sphere looks incredible. I've watched other things that have happened there at the Sphere and it's been so like oh god, I really want to go see something at the Sphere. And so then this is just hand in hand. It's like, oh my God, it's summertime. I've got nothing going on. But so I looked at ticket prices. I think after the first show, I started looking at prices and I swear they were around 180. And I was like, and there's something about the price because I paid a lot more. I paid a lot more. But for some reason, the amount that I paid, and I will share what it was, makes me feel like this is even more exciting, if that makes sense. The value is so much higher and it's making me feel like it's just it's so like decadent. It's like so elite. It feels so big now because I'm paying so much for these tickets. I don't think I would have had that same feeling had I paid 180 per ticket. So anyways, I thought I watched the next day. I was kind of keeping an eye on ticket prices because I thought, oh, maybe, but I know Ryan works, on the weekends, and their shows start on Friday. They do like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I think are the shows. They do 4 and then they take a break. So, and they're only doing 21 shows. And what I've seen from the videos that people are showing, it's just like it's incredible. It's like production quality of like Taylor Swift. Like it's going to be a big production, and they so deserve this. They so deserve this. um there's costume changes, like it's all choreographed. I mean, it's just the visuals are very intense and satisfying, and they go with the music and they've got meaning, and it's like nothing like we've ever seen with Backstreet Boys. It's like this is, and I know so many of their songs. And so I decided to look up tickets, and then I kind of was like, I don't know. There's so much. Like the cheapest ones I could find were about 380 bucks at that point. That was yesterday. So I text Ryan, kind of hoping that she'll say there's no way that she could do it. So I say to her, I said, I just sent her a text. She was at work and I said, want to do something crazy? And she writes back in all capital letters, what? Get our belly buttons pierced together? Get tattoos together? And I said, no, go see Backstreet Boys in Vegas on Friday. And I'm getting goosebumps right now. And she goes, fuck yes. And I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God. So I immediately, I'm like, really? Really? And she goes, let me see if I can get my shift covered. So I'm sort of waiting. It's all based on this now because I'm like, I kind of wouldn't have done it, but Ryan got her shift covered. So now she's out money, right? So I have to do it. Like she just got rid of her shift. And this Friday nights are like a pretty good night for her. So I was like, oh my God, I've got to do it. So I start looking up tickets and I'm concerned about like, I don't want to be on the floor because everybody says the floor where you're standing, you will not get the visuals. You have to be in like a tiered area. I do know from the guy that I dated who saw a show there because he has a friend who frickin' works at the Sphere. It's like midway. I think it's like section like 400, right in the center, is the best show. It's the best seat of any seats there at the Sphere, and those were going for about $2,900. So I found something in section 309. It was row 12, seats 24 and 25, which is ironic because the last concert we went to, what did we go to? Um, God, what? Oh, Joey and I went to, oh yeah, Metallica. Our rows were like 20, our chairs were like 24, 25, which is weird because my birthday's 24th. So it's like, how did that happen twice? I'll have to look, but I'm almost positive we were in either row 24. There was definitely a 24. So everything else was like 400, 500, 600. I mean, I just saw these two. I decided to go for it and I double clicked the side of my phone for Apple Pay and it went, when you do the Apple Pay and it like lets you know that the purchase went through and it's like ding and you feel your phone move and just I started screaming. I'm like and Owen was right there. I was like, "Oh my God. I just spent $830. We're going. With taxes and everything, it came to 830 bucks and change. I was like, but it felt so exciting because what else am I doing? Like, I mean, what the frick? I'm sitting here like doing nothing. I mean, we're going to Maui, but like, I want to do something fun this summer. So this, and of course, who would I want to bring up? One of my kids, of course, they're like my best friends. And Ryan is the perfect choice for this. Joey got to go on the last two ADAP trips to Louisiana and Washington, D.C., like 2 years in a row. Ryan didn't get to go on those. So this was, my way to treat Ryan. Then I found out later Owen said he would have wanted to go. Like in the moment, he wasn't really saying much. And then later he's like, you're going to the Sphere. I'm like, you're kidding. And I probably would have just done another ticket for him. And then he was like, no, it's okay. I got to work anyway and stuff. And, it's a long drive. We're going to drive to Vegas and Owen in a car. It's just hard for him in general for long distances. So it's, he's not going. So, but Ryan and I was beyond excited. I went upstairs into my room to start picking out my outfit right away because the Backstreet Boys had tweeted and they put on TikTok and like Instagram and everything the night before one of their shows last week to have people wear white just for fun, have everyone wear white. And so there's a TikTok where they actually showed the crowd and he thanked the crowd for doing it. He goes, God, Kevin was saying, Kevin Richardson from the Backstreet Boys was saying, we put this out in the, stratosphere just to see, and you guys all did it. Like, thank you so much. And they show the crowd and like everyone's in white. So I have this, well, I'll put it on my, YouTube. I've showed it on my Instagram already. I've got like very light blue, kind of baggy jeans, and brand new white tennis shoes that I bought. That just they work with them. It's like they're kind of like the almost like the Adidas. Those shoes are like they're like my cool ways, kind of like that. They are Asics, but they're not the regular Asics that I usually get. They're more of like a like a thinner version, if that makes sense. But they're so white because they're like brand new. So, and my shirt I'm going to tie. It's going to have a little bit of belly showing, and which is kind of fun because I'm not at home. I'm out in Vegas, and I'm sort of like feeling sassy, and it's going to be fun. And my daughter's got her outfit ready to go. Oh, we're going to do the TikTok video where we like do the before, where we're like at home in our pajamas, and we're going to do some little thing, a transition video, and then the video will then transition to us with the sphere behind us, and we'll do like we'll talk. And I am like, right now we are about, it's 5 o'clock on Thursday, and I am 24, 25, 26, 27, about 27 hours away from this concert starting. I'm so excited. Cannot wait. So I will be telling you guys all about that after we get back. So yeah, we're driving down. It's about a 7.5 to 8 hour drive from my house to Vegas. I've never driven to Vegas. This is going to be new for me. And we got a cheap hotel, and we'll be taking the monorail from the hotel to the Sphere. I just can't wait to see the Sphere. I mean, I've heard so much about it. I've seen so many videos on TikTok, and it just looks, everybody says the experience is worth every penny. And these are people that spent like the same amount I did. Like, everyone is saying the same thing. Like, it's worth every penny. You don't understand. Like, you can kind of get like a feeling from the videos, but you won't get the full effect until you're there in person. And it's like, I cannot believe I am going to be one of those people. Like, I am going to be able to say I went and saw Backstreet Boys at the Sphere. So anyways, that's tomorrow. So excited. And then we're driving back. We're getting back up very early to get back in time so Ryan can get to work at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. So it's going to be crazy. Okay, I'm just going to end this with a quick somebody who reached out to me for my advice, HIV advice. So this is the thing. Okay, so this is what he wrote to me. I'll read his last message to me. This is after we've had um, our little session or whatever, after he paid, and he told me what his issue was and what he was worried about and what he'd done as far as like testing and all of that, and what the doctors are telling him and all this. So this is his last message to me. He says, "Yeah, I watched all your stories, and that is actually crazy. Thank you for your help." Because I told him to watch all the DL Men highlights that I have, and helped me calm down. I was actually able to go to work today. Couldn't even do that. The doctor, he doesn't have any periods. The doctor that did my test rang me today. This guy's from the UK, to do a follow up of any questions. He just said that per DNA, it's RNA, test normally detects HIV with this test. That's the RNA PCR test. Within a few days, he said they just have to say 10 days, but I did it in 5, and said he would have seen something there by now. I'm reading this exactly how he wrote it, but basically he's saying that the doctor says they have to tell them 10 days with the PCR test, but basically it's like 5. Like, they would, at 5 days, they would have seen something by now if he actually had HIV. And so let me tell you what this man's exposure was. His exposure was a sex worker. Okay. He is a man. That is a woman, right? So I already talked about how rare it is for men to get HIV from women because of our physiology. We can't make direct contact with their bloodstream. And it's not that it can't happen. Like, there are circumstances where it could happen, but in general, it's not how it happens. How could it happen? Maybe you've got schmegma and oh, Ryan's calling me. Can't answer right now, Ryan. Phone. Okay, my daughter called, and that just messed that up a little bit. Anyway, where was I? Okay, so he was with a sex worker. Okay, the only way that like possibility like schmegma could create, like, I don't know, like if you have a foreskin and you've got schmegma and you're really nasty underneath there, and maybe it's crusted over and it opens up or something. I mean, I don't know. I don't have foreskin, but they say it's 8 times more likely if a man has a foreskin. But I know plenty of women that expose men with foreskins who didn't give it to them. So I think it's how well they take care of that area underneath, I guess. Or I guess if they had a herpes lesion that was like wide open, and the woman would have to have HIV, right? Of course, which also isn't that common. But here's the thing: this guy had a condom on. He had a condom on. So there is no risk. There's none. That's even true for like gay men with anal sex. Like HIV doesn't go through a condom. It doesn't. It doesn't go through a condom. So that's one. He was with a woman. So what's a sex worker? Big deal. Like how many times have I talked about the fact that female sex workers truly are not high risk for HIV because their clientele are hetero men. So there's that. Plus it's a woman, condom. The other concern for him was that he performed oral sex on her for a minute or so. I'm like, okay, so there's no risk for that either. There are no female to female cases of HIV, although some people will argue that over the last 40 years, there might be a couple documented cases, but it had to do with like using a toy or something. So even that, like the toy comes out, it's in the air. That I don't even believe. So anyway, because the air kills HIV. It's very, very fragile virus. But anyway, I told him you don't get it from oral sex. Like the only possible way, and they even say this is extremely rare, is like a big load of HIV infected semen in your mouth and you have some kind of gaping wound or you're bleeding gums or what. I mean, the odds of those things happening are just like, who's got bleeding gums in the moment while they're taking a load? Or I don't know. In the 9 years that I've been doing this, I haven't had anybody say to me, like, I definitely got it from giving a blowjob. Like, never heard of that. You don't get it, by the way, from getting a blowjob or from receiving cunnilingus. Like, that isn't a thing either. It's not in people's mouths. No one's transmitting it from their mouth. So people get very confused. I understand it can be confusing, but doctors I swear they don't know shit. They just hear that this man was with a sex worker and that he performed oral sex and they think there's some kind of risk. So they have them test for it. And because they have them test, it puts a seed in their heads that there is a risk. And so then now they're going crazy. Like this guy said he hadn't been to work, he couldn't eat. I mean, and because they get so in their head about like the possibility that there's this possibility, quote unquote, that then they give themselves symptoms and they get sick. And I've said that a million times, but anyways, it's just frustrating because I just feel like there's so many doctors out there that are not well informed, or like I said to this guy, it's a business. They don't know what you've been doing truly, but I think they really still don't know. I do think that they think like there is some possibility just because they're not that informed about HIV. If they're a general practice doctor, that's not their specialty, and they're not going to be really, they're probably just going to hear HIV sex worker. They're going to hear sex worker and they're going to feel like, oh, you better test. Yes, that's risky. But it's not like it for all the reasons I just said. So of course he was negative, like not a surprise. But yeah, it's not, like I said, like nothing's changed in 9 years. We're getting on, let's see, it's 2016. Next year I'll be able to say 10 years. It'll be 10 years. And I can say in the last 10 years, I have not had one man reach out to me with HIV anxiety, turn out positive for HIV. I'm certain that it's like never going to happen. So it makes my little side business really easy, to be honest. I mean, every once in a while I'll get something that might sound a little risky because it's like, a straight guy did a DL thing or something, or, had something in his rear end for a second. It's like, yeah, that's, definitely good to get tested. I would never tell anybody not to test. I always tell everybody to test because, just for your own mental health. But I say it's going to be negative. Like, don't worry, it'll be negative. And I have not been wrong once. So yeah, that's it. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you guys have a good week. I am going to get ready for Backstreet Boys. I need to go do some packing, get my food ready for the road, go put some gas on my car. And yeah, I'll let you guys know how it goes. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye-bye for now.